What's up, Guardians? Peace and Grease here, and let's talk about the Edge of Fate expansion a little bit. If you happen to be on the fence about whether to buy it or not, hopefully I can provide a little bit of information to help you make your decision. So let's get right into this and talk about the new location, Kepler. Now, at this point, I'm operating under the assumption that the team that was hardest hit by the Bungie layoffs was, in fact, the environment team. The reason I am jumping to this conclusion is that Kepler is, well, to be quite frank, it's bland, it's boring, it's uninteresting, which is the complete opposite of all the other locations in this game. So something happened between all the rest of these locations and Kepler. Something changed. And again, my opinion is that it was the impact of Bungie layoffs. Music team still seems alive and well. Music still seems great. I will add that Kepler, if you're a little treasure hunter and you like solving like little secrets, you're going to love this because there's a ton of little secrets here and there. In fact, you're going to need to do some exploration to get all of the traits for the new exotic hand cannon. So that's something to get prepared for. There's also a new onslaught style of activity called the sieve. I don't know why so many content creators have trouble with that word. It's a sieve, like a strainer, like it leaks like a sieve. But anyway, I'm too old, they're probably too young. Moving on. I will also warn you that Kepler, it may look familiar. And the reason for that is because it is familiar. A lot of the structures are straight from the planet Titan. You know, the planet that was sunset years ago. And a lot of the structures you'll find underground in caves are from the Tangled Shore, another location that was sunset years ago. Yeah. Now, there are two new enemy types. There's this little swarm of bots as well as flying fallen. So it's great to have new enemy types. And there is a new, I don't know, not a new enemy necessarily, but a enemy effect where they have like a void halo above their head and they launch void bubbles at you. That's new. I don't think I've seen that before. They're something different than a Bane. But yeah, that's something else as well. But understand that the majority of this is business as normal. Copy paste, the same enemies we've been shooting in the face for years and years and years. No different. Same thing with the bosses. So I want to give props to the voice acting because there's some characters where the voice acting is really genuinely well done. Whether we're talking about Ikora, there's a reason why I'm mentioning that. I'll say that in a second. Our Ghost is back again talking after, 2 full episodes, which still don't know what happened with that. We got a new character, Lodi, and a not-so-new character, Orin, who has quit as the emissary to the Nine. I think all of these voice actors and actresses did a tremendous job. I find Lodi to be very interesting and his connection to Ikora. Speaking of which, the cinematic cutscenes are really, really good. They are. Now, with that being said, let's talk a little bit about the tiered weapon and armor system. I'm not going to comment too much on the armor system because I haven't had much experience with it. So I'll kind of leave that here for now. As far as the weapons go, understand that this is a whole extra barrier that you now have to farm or grind through. Because now you're not just farming the weapon roll that you're looking for, you now have to farm the tier, then the weapon roll you want. So even if you get the weapon roll you want, but it's a tier 3, for example, and you wanted a tier 4, well, yep, you're still farming now, you're still grinding. How much is that going to extend the grind? Probably a pretty good chunk, but of course we won't know until we get closer to that. There are pros and cons to the new tiered weapons as there are the old pre-Edge of Fate weapons. In some respects, the old pre-Edge of Fate weapons are better, but then the tiered weapons are better in others. You can't convert your old pre-Edge of Fate weapons to the new tiered system, and if you're wondering why would you want to do that, because the new tiered weapons have more than just enhanced perks. They have enhanced barrel and magazine options. They have enhanced origin traits. They have enhanced mods. So pretty much everything on the weapon is enhanced at max rank of tier 5. Similarly, any and all cosmetics are also locked at tier 5. Now that's kind of crappy because if you're a player that didn't care about adept weapons before Edge of Fate, you're probably not going to care about tier 5 weapons now. But that also means you don't ever get any access to cosmetics. And I think that that's kind of a kick in the balls for new and returning players. I don't agree with that. So I will admit, yes, I've gone through my vault and I've deleted a chunk of weapons. However, I did not delete them all. In my opinion, you shouldn't. There are still plenty of great weapons I know in my vault and in your vault that are still viable here. But again, you're going to do what you want to do. It's going to really boil down to your perspective and, of course, the weapon in question. Moving on here, let's talk a little bit about my personal experience with the campaign. I think I had 2 crashes with the mechanics. I think at one point on the Matter Spark, I actually went through a corner and fell to my death. With the Dark Matter, I had thrown out the Dark Matter, hopped on a platform, and stood there as it collapsed back. And it literally pulled me into my character into the wall, almost killed my character. Luckily, my buddy was there. He was able to throw the Dark Matter out. And when it opened back up again, it flung my character across the map and almost killed the character a second time. So there are some little bugs here and there, and it is something to be aware of. I did get a host of error codes here and there. None of them the same, all of them different. So that is, but I will admit this is better than a lot of other expansions. Much, much better, as a matter of fact, because I can remember how bad it has been. So this is far better than that. So with all that being said, let's get into the campaign. And before I do, the new mechanics, which I just touched on. So there are 3, some of them are not new mechanics. We've got a teleporter cannon, which is basically just a scorch cannon that you shoot a plate with, and it opens up a teleporter. We've got the Dark Matter, which I've touched on, which I'll get to more in a second here. And then we've got the Matter Spark, or what I call the Snowball. A lot has been said about the Snowball. People saying they hate it, people saying they love it. I haven't really heard anybody say they love it. I don't love it, nor do I hate it. I'm just kind of like, meh, whatever. I will admit that it gets better towards the end of the campaign. And maybe if the Matter Spark had been better early game, maybe more people would have been open to it, but of course we'll never know now. But I think the most important thing about the Matter Spark isn't whether we loved it or hate it, but that Bungie tried something new. For years now, people have been saying that Bungie is on autopilot. This is Bungie off of autopilot. This is Bungie trying something new. And I think we got to commend him for that, because a lot of people have theories about what's going to, quote, save Destiny 2. But the reality is that what is actually going to, quote, save Destiny 2 is Bungie trying something new until they hook and book on that one unique, fun, new idea that brings everybody back again. That's what it's going to take. What is that idea? Hell if I know. But Bungie's going to have to keep trying, because that process means you're going to fail several times before you succeed. So with that being said, the Dark Matter mechanic is far more interesting to me personally. You basically approach a plant, you go through this ghost crushing animation, and then you can throw out like this grapple looking grenade at walls and barriers, and you can shift walls and open doors and create platforms, you know. That's far more interesting to me personally. But moving on from there, let's talk about the campaign. I think that there were overall some good qualities about the campaign. There were things that I liked, particularly like getting to the final boss fight. You had to traverse open space on space debris. That was really freaking cool. I liked that a lot. Understand that as you're going through this campaign, you are going to be using all 3 of the aforementioned mechanics throughout the entire campaign. Not only that, the entire time you're on Kepler, you're going to be using these mechanics. So be aware of that. My biggest criticism about the campaign is Maya Sundaresh. I had made it clear in a video months and months and months ago during the season that this character lacks any and all depth, has no real development. And on top of that, she has a MacGuffin artifact, and they need to fix that. But instead of doing that, let's instead have some fun, and let's do a pitch meeting where we have whoever it is at Bungie that's in love with this character, and then management, okay? All right. Yeah, here you have a great idea for a new Destiny 2 boss. We're excited to hear about it. Come in and have a seat.
Yes, I'm very excited to be here. Her name is Maya Sundaresh, and she's an EXO, and I love this character. I have an erection as I'm talking about her.
Okay, let's keep it professional. Just the facts, please.
Yes, so basically, she's really bad because she abuses her partner, and then she goes through time and she gets other versions of her partner and then abuses them too.
Well, I think we can all agree that that's uber fucked up, but how does she fit into the big picture of Destiny 2?
Oh well, she has a MacGuffin.
A MacGuffin?
Yeah, it's just like a science fiction device that just explains away everything without actually explaining anything. It's called a MacGuffin. She has a MacGuffin artifact, and we're just going to keep moving the goalpost and keep changing it as we go. So she's going to start off like gaslighting people. She's going to gaslight the Vex, and she's going to gaslight Saint 14, and he's going to be like, all like, oh, I don't know, who am I? It's going to be like a Jedi mind trick. She's going to be like, these aren't the droids you're looking for. And they're going to be like, totally, these aren't the droids we're looking for. Because, MacGuffin activated. So she gaslights people at first, but in 3 months from now, she's going to be killing gods. And we're not going to explain any of it. And then after that, another 3 months, she'll probably have her destroying planets with the same MacGuffin.
I see. Have you thought about, like, adding any depth to this character, any development?
No, we don't need to. We got a MacGuffin.
I see. How long till the season goes live? 2 days. Okay, you know what? Ship it. Sounds good. And end scene. Those are my problems with Maya Sundaresh. None of them have been addressed. In fact, they've just gotten worse. So I was at about a 3 on the campaign. I'm now at a 1 because of that. They dedicated a whole raid to this character, the worst character in Destiny 2. You might as well dedicate a raid to Shaw frickin' Han because you've done the same amount of work. But with all that being said, I'm at about a 3 overall on this expansion. It's still better than a season. It's still better than an episode. Do I think it's worth 40? No, not really. But that's for you to decide. So that's kind of my opinions on the Edge of Fate expansion. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And until next time, peace out.